Hey, hello and good morning everybody. Hi, my name is Darius Anucauskas and I'm the Global Market Analyst here at Markets.com. So look, I hope you're having a wonderful start of Friday. For those who are already maybe finished with Friday, so I hope you had a fantastic one. Look, this is the usual end of week wrap up with me here. We're going to look at the some of the instruments, what happened in the economy during the week. So hey, hopefully you'll enjoy the session. Stick around and I'll see you in a bit. Hey, hello everybody. Hi, my name is Darius Anucauskas and I'm the Global Market Analyst here at Markets.com. Look, today's Friday and I hope you had a fantastic week. I mean, this week has been quite a busy one, I would say. Look, we're going to dig into the markets. We're going to have a look what's happening there, and there is a lot of things happening, to be honest. In general, throughout this whole week has been happening a lot. Yeah, we'll look into all the instruments. We'll see what's happening from the technical perspective. Hey, stick around. Before we jump into all that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So yes, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and then we can continue. And by the way, I'm not going to disappear anywhere. I'm going to let you, like I said, read the rest because we are having quite a, let's say, quite a busy week again. I mean, to be honest, like every week we get some sort of stuff that is shaking the markets a little bit. So look, before we also jump into the charts, just a quick mentioning of our Markets.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump in first into Japanese Nikkei. Well, yesterday we had a bit of a decline in general. Yesterday the stock market has been, drifting lower a little bit. In the US especially, so we did decline. Europe sold off quite significantly, in my opinion. We looked at DAX performance, but I'll get to DAX in a bit. And yeah, so look, for now, what can I say? For now, looking at this picture, I think I'm going to stick to my same game plan, that from the technical perspective, this is still working out nicely. Because from the technical perspective, I said to you that this looks to me like an ascending triangle, which according to all the TA rules kind of tends to break to the upside. However, I have to say that, I've seen this happening in the opposite direction, so that's why I'm not going to rush into anything. We got the Japanese inflation numbers as well, so that's something to keep in mind, because again, yes, we saw a bit of a rebound here. However, look, in general, higher inflation numbers did not work out well. Do not normally work out well for the indices, but in this case we saw a little bit of reaction to the upside. Maybe this is, like I said, maybe this is just this positivity right now kicking in from Asia in general, because again, China I think is leading the way, because China is pushing back up, which I will get to in a bit as well. But so this is what we're getting here as well. Maybe we're getting that reaction in Nikkei here, because like I said, China is kind of leading the way right now. But in general, we have to understand that higher inflation numbers are not good for in the stock market, because again, this kind of leads to a potential rate hike. And this is what I think the BOJ is now very happy to see, because again, it supports their rhetoric of going for some more hikes. During the next interest rate decision in Japan, I doubt that they will go for a hike, but let me just double check something very quickly. So yes, I mean, at the moment, in March there we're going to see the interest rate decision on the 19th of March, and for now, at least for now, the expectation is that they're going to keep the rates the same at plus 0.5. But we do understand that the BOJ does want to go for another hike, maybe at least a 25 basis point one. Maybe they're actually, the plan is by the end of the year to actually bring it all the way to that 1%. We'll see. Just at the end of, or actually in the beginning, just at the beginning of 2024, the number was at minus 0.1. That's the interest rate. Now we're seeing, like I said, now we're seeing a shift, quite a significant shift. Anyway, so yes, in Japanese inflation numbers came out. They came out at 3.2. The core one and the headline one, and came out at 4%. So beating the previous one by, I would say, a lot. And this is what we're getting. Like I said, we're getting that somewhat negative. We saw that negativity. I think that this was already priced in, but today, right now, we're seeing a little rebound just because, like I said, I think it's purely China driven. But I'll jump into the Japanese yen in a bit. Just wanted, like I said, to run this by you and yeah, to show you that inflation is picking up, and I think we could see some further action to the upside in terms of interest rates. We'll like I said, we'll get to that later. Yeah, looking at this, I mean, we also got from Japan, we got the Jibun Bank Composite and Manufacturing Services PMIs. Those are the flash, or the estimates, or the preliminary ones. Those came out on the higher side, a little bit fractionally, but still on the higher side. Manufacturing is still struggling to get back into expansion territory, but hey, it's all still on the right track. Oh, as always, let me just put good morning in the chat room here. Good morning, everyone. I hope, like I said, I hope you're having a wonderful start of Friday. So let's jump into Australia very quickly. So seeing it drift further south, let's have a look what's happening here with the PMIs here, with the preliminary PMIs from Australia. Those okay, those were also not bad, but as I understand, this is mainly reacting to the global situation right now, because again, US indices declined, and I think that they dragged Australia after. However, as I can see, the Chinese index is not able to, or the Chinese market is not able, for now at least, to drag ASX 200 back up again. But okay, look, it's all fine, it's all okay. This is working out so far good, because again, what I said to you before, that if we do drop below the 8,373 territory, I will go towards this upside line, initially aiming for the 100-day EMA, where we're currently getting a little hold up, and then yeah, we'll go from there. But for now, at this point, yes, this is working out so far okay. However, if we start pushing back up here, if we push back above the 50-day EMA, then that's great. Potentially more buyers here could join in. So something like this, basically, if we do push back above that 50-day EMA. But at the moment, I mean, we're examining the downside, but only up until this upside line taken from the low of the 5th of August of last year. Because yes, I do understand it's a very tentative upside line, given that we're only seeing 2 touches, but but I would say for now it's the one to watch for now, at least, because again, if this provides good support and we see a rebound, then yeah, this move lower could be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying. Well, at least that's that's the case right now. China 50, let's jump into that one. China 50 looking good, and what we're seeing here is that yes, we're seeing that rebound, a push away from that 50-day EMA. Look, this is something that I talked about previously as well, and I said to you that I want to kind of, I'm still cautiously bullish on this one, as long as we remain above the 13,150 zone and all the EMAs here on the daily chart. So long story short, I would say I'm gonna stick to somewhat higher levels for now. I'm not saying that I'm gonna get very, very excited with the upside, but again, aiming somewhere for that 13,700 territory could be nice. So that could be the initial target, and then we'll go from there. In general, I think that what's driving the market right now is the Alibaba's kind of plans to join forces with DeepSeek, or actually, let's put it this way, I think that Baba is doing more of a buyout of DeepSeek, at least in my opinion. However, look, I mean, of course, it's not the case, but yeah, it's certain, for me at least, it certainly looks like that. So they will, they will first provide funding, and then, they will just buy it out, and that's it. So yeah, look, for now, I mean, looking at Baba's stock here, and which is traded on the NYSE, this one has been rallying significantly, and in general, Alibaba was one of the probably the best performers, has been one of the best performers so far this year. We are basically, let me just grab a magnet here. So we are looking at, from this somewhere area and all the way to here where we closed yesterday, it's around 61% gain. I mean, look at this, spectacular movement so far in 2 months period. At some point, this will have to correct back down. Question when? That's at the moment unclear, but what can I say? At the moment, it's an interesting one. But again, at some point, like I said, it will have to correct back down. The question is, will it go back to the 200 level? I mean, quite possible, to be honest. But again, for me, whenever I see something like this, I know that it could still, travel higher, but I'd rather just wait for maybe a little bit of a retracement and then consider a move to the upside. The retracement doesn't have to be like a very strong one, because again, maybe we could do something like this. And looking at these lines here, I mean maybe this, like I said, this area here could be a nice one to watch. So somewhere around 120 zone ish. Could be like maybe a good opportunity to step in. Again, that is, of course, if we continue to trade above this upside line. But if we start clearing it, then a larger correction back down could be possible. Let's jump into the US indices. And yesterday we saw a decline. Yesterday the Dow was the biggest loser from the top three. Among Nasdaq and S&P, in relation to Nasdaq and S&P, but we still remained above the 50-day EMA. So again, I would say yes, it was a good move here to the downside, but as I said before, if it still remains somewhere above this 50-day EMA and the 43,800 zone, then I will stick to the upside. For now, there is again a good chance for a rebound. However, look, if we start clearing this territory, then of course, yes, we're clearing the lower side of the somewhat of a range here, because again, we started kind of getting into a bit of a squeeze. But if we do clear this lower side of this range, then yes, I'm going to consider a larger correction to the downside towards this upside line taken from the low of the 27th of October of 2023. So, this line has been here for a while, and has been for a while here, but to disrespect it, I think that would be the wrong way to go. So we need to respect that, and we need to take it into consideration, and then we can go from there. But again, I'm not excluding the possibility right now for a nice rebound back up. Let's have a look, by the way, how the week is ending. Well, the week is in negative territory for now, it seems like that. But look, we still had, the day is young. Europe is still, not fully operational, or actually, no, it's already fully operational. Apologies. It kicked off, and let's see, maybe we'll see some recoveries in Europe, and given that we could see some, better situations on the political side, because again, at the moment, politics is just, hitting all the headlines, and it's kind of overshadowing the whole economic data front. But for now, look, what can I say? It's looking good. There is still an opportunity for Dow to push back up. However, if it starts falling below that 43,800 zone, then I'll consider a bit of a move lower. The S&P 500, let's have a look at this one very quickly. This one is, yes, pushing back down. I've drawn this little Fibonacci extension yesterday just to kind of show that, hey, 6,188 could be that next target if we are, let's say, trying to figure out where we could see a little hold up somewhere here. But what's happening right now here is that I think the market is taking a little bit of a pause because again, I think that we're waiting maybe for next week because next week we'll have a little bit more interesting data from the US. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So first of all, on Monday we'll have the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index. Okay, maybe that's not the most interesting and exciting news, but then on Tuesday we'll have the House Price Index, Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index here coming out, API crude oil stock change, new home sales coming out on Wednesday. Then we'll get on Thursday we'll get the GDP, the estimates, the preliminary GDP numbers, initial and continuous jobless claim, pending home sales. And the most important, on Friday, we're going to get the core and headline PCE numbers, the Fed's favorite inflation metric. So this is this is the last day of trading for for February. So next week, Friday, will be quite an exciting one in my opinion, because again, we're finishing off the week and the month with some exciting news, and like I said, this is going to be quite interesting to watch. At the moment, I don't see any big forecasts here, but we need to get closer to the date. But again, certainly something to keep in mind. So that's what I'm saying. So this week we could see this action being just like this, and just maybe moving a little bit up and down here, but maybe going into next week now that's where the excitement could come, and we could see some better activity either to the upside or to the downside, which could please one of the sides. So yeah, long story short, I'm observing this one. I'm not really expecting this one to, let's say, make big moves unless we see some sort of political news that are coming out, which could, in a way, affect significantly the indices. For now, watching this one very carefully. By the way, also, let's have a look at earnings. I mean, this week we had been seeing, earnings coming out, and the Walmart on Thursday, came out with a bit of a. Okay, it was good. They were good numbers, but I think that overall, yes, it didn't really satisfy the customers. Alibaba came out with fantastic earnings that kind of pushed the company to the upside. And on Friday, today, what do we have? Let me just double check. Right, okay, nothing major in China. We have the trip.com coming out, Standard Chartered. Yeah, nothing major, to be honest, coming out on Friday. We're going to keep an eye on next week, but next week I think it's also a little bit on the quiet side. Yeah, let me just double check here. Yeah, nothing major, honestly. I think that Home Depot, Intuit, yeah, those are coming out. And on Monday, nothing major. So Friday also something like a little bit on the modest side, to be honest. Maybe German data is more interesting here. But anyway, so that's in terms of the earnings, what to watch out for next week. But coming back to the economic calendar, let me just jump into all this, into the entire world. Look, going into this week, this Friday. So yes, for now, what I can say here is that looking at this picture, like I said, I really don't see this one moving maybe somehow crazy in a crazy fashion. Again, unless it's something political comes out and kind of drives the indices either to the upside or to the up or to the downside. For me to let's say approach this from a bullish perspective, I would like to see actually just a clearance of the current all-time high, which is around the 6,147 zone, and then kind of go to the upside. For the downside, well, pretty much a move below yesterday's low could do the trick, and we could see a movement towards the 50-day EMA. Nasdaq, let's have a look at this one. This one is holding on still, and look at this. Yes, yesterday we drifted lower, almost tested this broken trend line from above, and we reversed back up, and basically then we saw kind of a nice, like, little reversal here back up. So it seems like the bulls are not giving up, and looking at the weekly candle here, we're kind of flat, to be honest, and I think that this is how it could end up being today. Nothing major, so keep your eyes on that one. Dollar index, let's have a look at dollar index, pushing back up. Well, now we're starting to oscillate around the 100-day EMA, which is not ideal, to be honest. I mean, I would like to see some sort of better action, either to the upside or to the downside, but hey, we have what we have, and I think we need to just adjust to our trading to it. So for me to get comfortable with the upside here on this one, I would need to see a push back above this 107.5 zone, because at the same time we could be placed above the 50-day EMA for the downside. Another drop below the 100-day EMA could maybe strengthen the idea of a move lower. The German index, DAX. So this is what I wanted to show you. So yesterday we had another decline. I mean, talking about a decline on Wednesday, we had a spectacular one for the bears. Congratulations to those. And today it seems like we are, yes, trying to continue that path south. We're towards this upside line taken from the low of the 13th of January. So at the moment, what we are kind of considering here is basically a correction lower, because again, as long as we stay above this upside line, we cannot really get very comfortable with with the downside. A clearance of this upside line is required in order to go lower. In terms of the upside, yes, a rebound from this upside line, it would be great, would be nice, because again, at the moment, like I said, this little move, kind of little. This move to the downside is kind of classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying. The fact that we are kind of almost, we're shy of kind of from a few hundreds of actually losing around 1,000 points in a week. What can I say? I mean, I'm talking about from the top which we reached, from the all-time high which we reached, and let's see if we can actually do that. And for today, in terms of the news from Europe, we got the retail sales numbers from UK. To be honest, that's kind of the most exciting thing that came out. Germany is releasing its also preliminary composite manufacturing and services PMIs. We'll keep an eye on that one, together with the Eurozone in total. So this is going to be something that's going to be quite interesting, to be honest. It's coming out in 6 minutes. I will pick up on that in a bit. So at the moment, the forecast is for the forecasts are for higher numbers apart from the services sector. Okay, we'll see how that plays out, of course, but again, and then we'll get the UK one as well. So we're talking about UK, by the way, what we're seeing here is a break. There we go. We're seeing a break of this upside line, and this is kind of pointing, our attention more towards some lower levels, to be honest. So my next target will be this 50-day EMA, and that's what I'm going to aim for. So as long as we stay below this upside line, below that 8,700 zone, then I'm leaning towards the downside. I'm aiming for that 50-day EMA. But like I said, that's my game plan for now. Looking at the currency world, AUDUSD very quickly. So beautiful so far, working out like a charm. I mean, this week we had a bit of data. Let me just show you what I am talking about. I'll put in Australia and New Zealand. So look, we had the interest rate decision this week from Australia, where they finally made that cut of 25 basis points. However, the market is really enjoying the moment here. It seems like that the fact that rates got cut, I think that doesn't matter, because I think that the market, what the market is thinking is that, okay, let's allow the bulls here of AUD are thinking that, okay, let's allow the bank to cut, because again, they haven't cut for like 4 years or something, right? I mean, from 2020, and let's allow them to cut, because still we don't think that they're gonna go for more cuts later on. So it's just kind of like a one-off thing. Okay, and I think that this is kind of what's working out together with the slightly weaker dollar. This is what we're seeing, and we're seeing a nice push higher. We reached that 100-day EMA, which I was talking about. I said to you that if we do push above the 50-day EMA and the 0.6330 zone, my next target is the 100-day EMA together with that 200-day EMA. Well, this is what we are. This is what we're kind of targeting. I mean, one of the targets got reached. Fantastic, great. Let's see what's going to happen next. But for me is very simple. If we can stay somehow above the 100-day EMA, my next target is the 200-day EMA. Very simple, very like a straightforward approach here. Not really trying to, you know, overcomplicate life. If we start falling now below the 50-day EMA, now that's where I'm going to get a little bit more excited with the downside. Let's jump into NZD/USD. So also similar story for New Zealand. Look, next day and Wednesday, we got the interest rate decision from the RBA, and that one was expected to come out with a 50 basis point cut. And it did so. So yeah, we got also a move higher, but basically the same scenario, the same stories happening with the NZD is the same as with, you know, with AUDUSD. So but on this one here, it's a little bit more aggressive in my opinion. We're seeing that nice push higher. We're clearing the upper side of this rising channel where we are kind of trading in. So let's say, you know, people are getting excited, people are getting happy here. That's fine. The bulls, let the bulls have their feast a little bit, but we need that test of that 100-day EMA and in order to go further north. Of course, a clearance of that 100-day EMA is needed. If we don't get that, then in a way that we are kind of stuck in limbo. I'm not saying that we're getting bearish. No, for me to get bearish, I would like to see like a move back below the 50-day EMA, which at the same time kind of coincides right now with this 0.57 territory. So basically a nice drop below the 0.57 territory could lead to some lower levels, and we could then see maybe a test of the lower side of this rising channel. So at the moment, like I said, observing the price action, cautiously bullish, and want to see what's going to happen here at the end of this week, because at the moment we're clearing the upper side of the rising channel, but can we stay above that? Now that's a good question. Oh, by the way, let's have a look at what's happening with the numbers, with the economic numbers right now in Europe. So let me, where is that? There we go. Coming out in 1 minute. Right. Okay. So in that case, let me just jump into EURUSD. So as we speak, so we can have a look at this one. So as we speak right now, we are looking at a bit of a retracement here. So that's fine. By the way, if you're wondering, I'm looking at my daily charts all the time here, because this way I have a better picture. And to be honest, I prefer the daily charts because, you know, it's a more calm approach, and this is what I like. I like to have a calm approach. Look, overall on EURUSD, the outlook remains somewhat positive because we remain above the 50-day EMA together with this 1.0442 zone, which marks the inside swing high here of the 5th of February. So we did briefly drop below it, but again, we kind of then drifted back up yesterday, and we're now near this key area of resistance, which is basically the high of last week near the 1.0514. In order to go higher, I need a clearance of that one. However, the problem that I have there is the 200-day EMA, and the 100-day EMA right there. And if we can get that nice clearance of this 100-day EMA, I will go further north. We're about 30 seconds away, as I understand from the data, 20 seconds, right? Let's have a look if there's going to be any reaction or not, but something tells me that we might not see the best reaction ever, but because these are the preliminary numbers. Anyway, so let me just jump into a 1 hour chart very quickly, or actually even better, a 30-minute chart. Let's see if there's going to be a reaction here. There we go, we're pushing higher, and yep, there is some sort of a nice reaction in the market. Some positivity kicking in. Let's see what's happening here. Still no data. Let me just check another source, because again, sometimes these economic calendars are lagging. Yeah. Oh boy, yes, I mean, but in general, what we're seeing here is some positivity kicking in. Okay, Germany, no, still no numbers, still no actual numbers, and I think that this is where, we're not seeing much activity. Okay, there we go, slowly coming out. So 52.2 against the forecast and the previous 52.5 on the services, so lower. Manufacturing higher, managed to beat the forecast, great, and the composite also on the higher side. Okay, so what's happening here? Yes, we're seeing that in that little push higher, but again, for me, probably at this point, very straightforward. I need to see a clearance of this 1.0514 in order to go to the upside. EUROJPY, this is something that I threw out yesterday. You want to check it out. Basically, this one is the idea that I threw out yesterday on sorry, not yesterday. When was it? Wait, that was on YouTube. By the way, you check us out on YouTube, because well, this is where you're probably watching us right now. But yesterday I threw out a piece on the Japanese inflation, and I picked up, yes, it was on YouTube, because I sometimes get confused in terms of where I post on TradingView and I post on YouTube. Now this is, like I said, this is where I posted it on YouTube, and I threw out the piece on Japanese inflation and picked up on the EUROJPY. Now, what I was saying yesterday, that look, for now, overall the picture looks quite bearish on this one, actually, because again, look, after we had a spectacular run in the first half of 2024, then we remember that the BOJ stepped in together with the government, and well, actually mainly the government kind of stepped in. We supported they supported the yen buying, and basically this is what we started getting. We started getting a stronger yen. And what can I say? This eventually now is kind of playing off nicely, because the BOJ is also considering, to hike rates, because I think that, if I'm not mistaken, this is where they started talks, about that, we're looking into hiking rates, basically preparing the market for a possible hike. So this is where they started doing that, and this is, I think that it stabilized a little bit, and also the weakness in the euro helped here. So all the stars aligned perfectly. And another thing is that, looking at the technical picture on the EUROJPY, we're seeing this this somewhat of a, I would say, complex head and shoulders pattern, with the neckline being somewhere around this 155 area. So that's what I need to see here. I need to see a clearance of that area, of the 155 zone, in order to go lower. For the upside, very straightforward. It's a very conservative approach here. A break of this downside line is needed. I know we're missing out on a lot of territory here, but you know what? I'd rather stay safe than sorry. Any move higher right now could be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling. Let's jump into another Japanese yen pair, which is the USDJPY, and look at this. I mean, we're seeing some strength here kicking in the US dollar a little bit, and maybe some weakness in the Japanese yen a little bit, because I think that the markets are enjoying the fact that we're seeing some positivity from China coming out in terms of Alibaba, and this is what's kind of driving right now. It seems like that the risk on environment is back on the table, and yep, nobody needs the yen, right, for now. But I have to say that, look, this is quite a strong area of support, this 149.5 zone-ish. somewhere around here, 149.5, 149.40. So if we can get a nice clearance of that territory, I will go lower. Pretty much straightforward. Yeah, nothing major I'm gonna invent here. No, I'm just gonna stick to this and we'll go from there. For the upside, a clearance of this downside line would be needed, because at the same time we could clear all the EMAs on my daily chart. US dollar against the Canadian dollar, looking good because we had a rebound. We pushed back up, found resistance near this 1.4260 zone. It provided a good hold up, and we started drifting back down. So long story short, this is working out nicely. However, I need to see a clearance of that 100-day EMA if I'm interested in lower areas. For the upside, pretty straightforward as well. Push back above the 1.4260 is the one that we need. US dollar against the Swiss franc, similar story, and here we are resting near this key area of support right there, the 0.8970. A nice clearance of that one would confirm a forthcoming lower low and potentially opening the door towards the 100 and the 200-day EMAs. And let's jump into GBPUSD very quickly. So yes, this one continues to push higher slowly, not very strongly, but look, in general, my target got reached. My target was the 200-day EMA, and I said to you that I'm going to aim for that one if we do clear this barrier right here, the 1.2523. We got that clearance, amazing. Then we aimed for the 100-day EMA tick, which coincides with the 38.2 and the Fibonacci retracement drawn from the highest point of September to the lowest point of January. So we tested that. Now it seems like if we do want to go for further upside above the 200-day EMA, then the next target is the one around the 1.2766 zone, which is basically the 50% retracement. And I think that that's quite a good target to aim for. Now let's jump into, oh, by the way, very quickly, let's have a look if there's any reaction in the German index. Yes, there is some positivity. I think that the market did like the numbers. We're seeing a retracement back up. Okay, let's say, let's see if this can be sustained or not. Let's jump into the commodity world, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly. So gold, look at this. 2,945 zone. I talked about this on Friday, and I said to you that look, I mean, we need to see a clearance of that, and I need to see the body of the daily candle staying above that area in order to go higher. And we did initially go higher. We did push higher. We did create a new all-time high on Thursday, yesterday, and but we failed to stay above that 2,945. So this proves to me that this is quite a significant area to watch. So if you're interested in some higher levels, then certainly yes, keep your eyes on the barrier here. Keep your eyes on that 2,945. If we can get that nice clearance, amazing, wonderful, I will go for some higher levels. At the moment, what can I say? I mean, at the moment, it's we're seeing a bit of a shift back down. The question for me is looking at the weekly. Are we going to stay inside this range, or actually eventually we're going to get a clearance? Well, in terms of the downside, I don't know what has to happen right now that it would go, it would go lower, breaks the lower side of this range, but because don't forget that we are in a range right now. But if we once again come back to this territory, this 2,945, I'm not, like I said, I'm not excluding a possibility for a pop here, because again, everybody's talking about the psychological 3,000 zone, and I know that when the whole market starts aiming for that, sometimes the opposite happens. But I think that in this case, it's not, it's not doing anybody harm, any big players harm, if it's, if we're gonna see that test of the 2,999. That's what I'm going to be aiming for. 3,000 would be nice, but 2,999, that I think that could be a little bit more interesting. But yeah, for that, I need to see another pop above the 2,945 level. Silver. Silver is modestly actually, modest on the modest side, and yes, we still remain above this 32.30 zone, but hey, I prefer to see a move towards that 34.85 zone. That's the next target. So hey, that's what I'm going to aim for, and we'll go from there. Let's jump into oil. Now, oil is an interesting one. So oil is, yes, it had a good week in my opinion. However, overall, it's still for me quite bearish. Look, we're struggling to move away from that 72 mark, right? Or 71.80 zone-ish, because that's where the opening price is of this year. It's close to the opening price of last year as well. And what can I say? I mean, it's like I said, we're oscillating around that level, so it's not really working out perfect for neither of the sides. If you're a range trader or something like that, then maybe you're enjoying the moment. However, for me, I mean, I'm not really enjoying the moment here. I would like to see a drop below the psychological 70 zone in order to go lower. For the upside, I would love to see at least a push above the 200-day EMA right there, and then we can go from there. Let's have a look at natural gas. Oh, wow, beautiful movement here. Look at this. We created a new high for this year yesterday. We did that, and we tested the area near the 4.46 zone. Wow, look at this spectacular movement here on since Tuesday. On Monday, we kind of stalled here, created something of a doji, and then boom, explosion. We cleared that 3.70 zone, and well, we traveled further north. Remember, a while ago, at the beginning of this month, I said to you, we are near this downside line and we're around the 50-day EMA. I said to you that I need to see a clearance of that area. I need to see a clearance of this area in order to go higher. And look at this, how well this played out. Amazing. Coffee, let's have a look at this one. Coffee so far so good as well. So this 409 zone is doing a very nice job, and yep, we have dropped again below it. So in a way, we're now right now in this correction mode, which is absolutely fine. It's okay, nothing to complain about here. So far so good, aiming for this upside line together with the 50-day EMA. Let's jump into sugar very quickly. So far so good as well. I talked about this a while ago. I also threw out this little piece. Where's that little piece on sugar? This was coffee. This was coffee. Where's that sugar? It was a good one. I mean, where is that? Like, it was recent, quite recent. So roughly polka dot, silver, sugar. There we go. That's sugar, just in front of me. So I threw out this piece and I said, look, watch out for this downside line. Watch out for it, because again, this says, this is something to keep in mind, because maybe if we're ready to break it, we could travel further north, and at the moment it seems like it's working out nicely. For now, what can I say? I mean, if you've missed this, I think that wait maybe for a bit of a retracement or something like that, and then maybe you can consider it for the upside if the market is there. If everything allows it, then yeah, we'll go from there. For now, like I said, I'm cautiously bullish. I'm actually, I'm still bullish on this one. I think this could, travel further north, but again, maybe a bit of a retracement first could be possible. And finally, let's jump in for dessert. I have cryptos here, and there we go. Bitcoin pushing back above the 50-day EMA. So the same problem here is that we're oscillating around the 50-day EMA, which is around this green line. So that means that we are looking at some higher levels, and if we do get a nice clearance of this downside line together with the 100 zone, amazing. More buyers could join in. Ethereum is also oscillating around this upside line. Look, what can I say? It's okay. It's nothing major here, to be honest. For me, the upside still remains from around here somewhere, from around this 3,000 zone, and kind of then, we'll go higher. Ripple is still stuck in this little range, I would say. This 2.78 zone is something that I'm watching, and this 2.31 is also something that I'm watching from the downside here. However, I think maybe it's time to get rid of this lower side, and maybe it's time to actually consider a move lower from on a drop below the 50-day EMA. I think that could be I think that could bring a little bit more justice to the downside scenario, and we could see more bears kicking in. But at the moment, it seems like we want to go higher. Let's see if we can do that. Dogecoin, if there's any movement, not much, to be honest, not much in there. Bitcoin Cash, this is something that I really like as well. And so far we are kind of stuck. In general, I would say we are on a downtrend, and it seems like a little pause before further decline. So well, what I want to say is that if we do drop below the 310 zone, then I would prefer to, that's my preferred downside scenario. If we do drop below the 310 zone, somewhere around here. But again, we need to be very careful, cautious. Look, is this a descending triangle pattern? Well, kind of looks like one, to be honest. And maybe this could be the case. Maybe this could be that that signal for further declines. However, I said to you before, I've seen these working out in the opposite direction, so that's why I'm not really in a rush yet. So if I do see a clearance of the 310 zone, okay, great. I'll get a little bit more excited with the downside, but I'm not excluding the upside scenario as well. But for that one, I would need to see a push above the 345 level here, and then we'll go from there. Yep, and just a quick update on the Polkadot situation. I threw out this idea as well on Polkadot, and it was still, below this downside line. I kind of talked about it. Where's that? Why is it not showing up here? Yes, so it was still above, we were still below this downside line, and now we are getting that nice clearance. So if we can stay above this territory, above that psychological 5 level, I think that this could, be quite interesting, and we could see slightly higher levels, maybe even going towards the EMAs for now. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. We had a busy week. I hope you had a great week in general. I hope you're going to have a fantastic Friday as well. Look, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, honestly, feel free to ask those. If you're not in the live session, you can always drop a comment after the session is finished. I mean, you can ask questions. You can drop your comments in the below the video, and then I'll pick up on those questions in my next webinar, which is, by the way, coming out on Monday, where we're going to have a look at the markets again, what's happening from the technical perspective, from the fundamental side as well, and then we'll go from there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you will have, like I said, a fantastic trading day today. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place, risk only what you can afford to lose, don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. I'll see you on Monday, 8 o'clock GMT time, 10 o'clock GMT plus 2 time. And yes, whenever it's convenient for you. If you cannot make it live, you can always have a look at it. You can always have a look at the recorded session. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.